Welcome to the BTFU Spring Carnival Racing Preview Show. Looking at the Saturday ahead and providing punters with expert analysis, best bets and best value selections for the week. The show has been sponsored and brought to you by our good friends at CrossBet. Glyn, you have ridden in just a couple of Spring Carnivals.
Just a couple.
Just a couple?
Yeah.
Adam was a boy, wasn't he?
I haven't got grey hair for nothing.
Oh, my God. I think I came out the womb when you rode your first Spring Carnival.
I thought you were cultured.
Oh,
I
please.
didn't even think you were born.
So what's the difference about riding the Spring Carnival compared to the rest of the year?
Oh, well, look, Bianca, the Spring Carnival's it's like the pinnacle of racing in Australia. Obviously, the autumn's really, really big with the championships in Sydney. But the spring, we've got the Melbourne Cup Carnival, we've got the Cox Plate, we've got the Caulfield Cup. And then, of course, in Sydney, it's an ever-changing model. We've got the Everest, we've got the Golden Eagle, we've got the Golden Rose. It's just everything to, all the best come out to play. So it's from a jockey's perspective, it's the best.
Do you get the nerves going out to the big races? Like a lot of athletes, as they run out into a field, do you feel it when you come out that amphitheatre at Randwick? Do you actually feel different?
If you don't have nerves going into the big races, there's something wrong with you. It's not like nerves that make you do the wrong thing. It's just apprehension that you want to.
Adrenaline?
Yeah, it's adrenaline. Yeah,
Yeah.
100%. It's, you're on the big stage.
I've been a jockey before.
Yeah, but you know what? You're on the big
No,
stage.
but it would be adrenaline.
Correct. You're on the big stage. You've got the best horses that you're riding, that you can ride, and you want to obviously showcase your talents as a jockey. You want to showcase your talents to owners and trainers so that you can then progress if you're not at the top, then you can progress and get better rides. So it's a big opportunity for a lot of people, especially in Sydney, when, of course, in Melbourne too, we've got a lot of those handicap races.
Yeah.
So lightweight riders come into the fore. A lot of the young female riders have really shone in the last couple of seasons. Rachel King's one. Kathy O'Hara's another one. She's been around obviously a lot longer. But it's a fantastic place to showcase your skills.
Aaron, what is something you have learned betting early in the Spring Carnival in the past?
That's probably a tricky one.
Have you learned anything?
Oh, please. I could have gone on forever. But there's a lot.
I'm still going on forever.
There's a lot of things. I think one thing for a lot of punters to remember is there's no such thing as a last race. So don't chase your losses. The carnival goes for a long time. The most important thing is to stay in the game and keep your head. So, yeah, don't chase your losses.
We kick off taking a look at the Makybe Diva Stakes. The top of the market reads. So Mr. Bright at $1.90, Alligator Blood $3.80, Princess Grace at $4.60.
Well, I see this race. It's only a small field, but it's very intriguing. Obviously, Mr. Brightside looks to be the pin-up horse over a mile.
How fucking
in
good is
Australia.
this horse become?
He's not a young horse. He's just grown. No, you can't say he's grown a leg, but he's just got better and better and better.
His last 6 starts have he's turned into a new horse. Maybe there's hope for me yet.
You couldn't turn into anything. You're not a pumpkin. But look, he is without doubt one of the best horses in the country, Mr. Brightside. He's unbeaten these last 4 starts. The Hayes boys, since David has gone to Hong Kong, they've actually improved the joint.
It's unbelievable, isn't it?
There's
Hall of Fame trainer or future.
100% right. Well, there's 3 of them, so
Yeah.
there's a lot to split. But he's not going to have the race to himself. I think Alligator Blood, obviously Damien Oliver rides, Tim Clark's indisposed. He had a bad fall. I know Ollie's a Hall of Famer. He's retiring at the end of the season. I would prefer to have seen Timmy Clark on this horse because I think he knows the horse back to front. He allows the horse to roll along at a strong tempo. Mr. Brightside, since they've ridden him forward, he's come to the fore. He's really shown his best form.
He was a beat horse with 100 to go. I wish I was going to just go straight back last start.
In the Memsey.
Yeah, he looked like they were going to go past him, and he was just kicked.
Caulfield, 7 furlongs, 2 turns. He was 3 wide the trip. It was a recipe for disaster, and he still won.
Yeah.
So I can't really see how anything's going to beat Mr. Brightside. I know he's restrictive at $1.95.
She's
but-
sticking with him.
Look, I'm not a punter. If I'm not a punter and I'm not betting, I would say Mr. Brightside, yes, as a spectacle. But as a race, I'd like to be on Princess Grace.
Yeah, I thought she got held up on the inside of the vital stage.
She did.
And that's not taking anything away from the winner because the winner was 3 wide throughout and worked.
Correct.
I do think Alligator Blood can improve and show. It looks a race in 3, and I think it's one of those races you could race it 10 times and probably come up with a few of those horses winning each time.
Yeah.
It's not a race I'll be playing in personally, but at the price, I'd probably have a slight lean to Alligator Blood.
Yeah, okay. For me, it's a race in 3. Mr. Brightside on top, Princess Grace, and then Alligator Blood. But Alligator Blood has got fantastic form
At Flemington.
at Flemington.
Well, that's where I turn to him. I'd be betting against Mr. Brightside, and he'll probably win.
Yeah.
Now to Randwick's feature, the shorts, the top of the market's read, In Secret, $3.10, Overpass at $5.50, Remark at $6.50, and Buenos Noches at $7.50.
Yes, Glyn was actually quite keen on Buenos Noches when he won last start.
Yeah.
This is a really interesting race. It's obviously a lead up to the Everest. You got a couple of horses first up: Private Eye, Mizzou, Lost and Running, Overpass, all trolling well. I just was so taken by In Secret's run the other day. I wanted to put a pen through her first up and said she couldn't win, and when she's just trucked up at the 1,000, I'm sitting there going, "Holy fuck!" In the turn, she's back. Like, and she
just like that.
But she hit a flat spot halfway through the straight. But if they'd gone an extra 100 metres, she wins the race in a hand canner.
Yeah, if your mother was a man, she'd be your father. But,
Oh.
but
What are you saying?
well,
You're against it?
if I'm not against it, I think second up in distance is definitely a plus.
Huge plus.
Low barrier, definitely a plus. The speed looks to be barriers 1 and Overpass and Remark looks to be the speed in the race. It looks to get a camp, either box seat or in the 1-1.
She just gets the beautiful run.
Maps beautifully.
$3.10 looks a bit of a gift for me, I think.
Yeah, it's $1 million race.
I
Don't
think-
forget, these horses, this is not their grand final, so they're all on audition for an Everest slot. There's 5 or 6 slots still to come. It's by no means a one-horse affair with In Secret. There's a couple of horses
So
in
who are
here
you
that-
tipping?
Look, I am in the In Secret camp.
You just
but I
that
wouldn't
was
be
the
surprised-
biggest anticlimax. You just built
Yeah.
that up like, I'm going to tip. Yeah, I'm tipping In Secret. What the?
I'm in the In Secret camp, but I wouldn't be surprised if there's a fly in the ointment in this race.
Wow. So Glyn's half pregnant, but he's on In Secret. Terrific. I'm on In Secret. I think her run last start was phenomenal. Second up, I think she'll just go one better, and she's probably one of the best mares in the country.
I think what you can't forget, and you mustn't overlook, is the fact that Overpass, since he's been gelded, he's travelled basically east coast to west coast, come back
Go Bindi Baker.
and performed at the top level. He's going to have an uncontested lead, and he's very, very, very effective. Bjorn Baker is
Do you reckon
renowned.
Glyn would have him? Glyn, do you reckon Bjorn will have him fit?
Oh, that's what I was just about to say. Bjorn is renowned to having his horses like ready first up. So it's $1 million race. A spot in the Everest is up for grabs.
One thing Bjorn is very good at doing is knocking off the lead-up races.
Yeah.
I will say that. One thing he's
Are
very,
you trying
very
to say
good.
that he can't win the big one?
Yes, Bjorn. That's exactly what I'm saying.
But yeah, I think you're right there. A Smoky for me is Lost and Running. He's a horse that has threatened so many times to win these big ones. Has won obviously his fair share of races. But I know he's my son, and a key booking here is Chad. This horse over races time and time again. If you go back and look at his trial, he came out with his head on his chest. He relaxed. He hit the line full of running. Just depends on where he gets in the run here, because the speed is drawn 1, 2, 3, and 4, and he's drawn out wide. It looks like he's going to have a difficult run. But if there's a bit of tempo and he can smother him and get a soft run, I wouldn't be surprised to see Lost and Running go bang straight over top of them late.
Now, Glyn, let's go to you for your lock and shock for Saturday.
Okay, so we're coming off a win midweek, aren't we? Our first one. We had a
All
6
pressure's on.
Yeah, pressure's on. But look, my lock for the weekend is Amelia's Jewel at Flemington. She's making a seasonal debut.
That was ballsy, $1.75. You've just...
Well, yeah, it might get out.
It might get out.
But look,
go.
I think she's obviously one of the best horses in the country. Should have won the Quokka beating
Overpass.
we've just spoken about. And my shock for the meeting at Ramwick is Lost and Running in the shorts. I am all over In Secret, but I think if there's going to be something that's going to run over the top of them, it's Lost and Running at $12.
Aaron, what are your lock and shocks?
I'm actually, I'm similar, a little bit similar to you in the fact I'm doing my lock in Melbourne, which is unlike me. I'm going with Benedetta. Her win last start was just phenomenal.
Knows how to win, doesn't it?
This is probably the other best mare in the country. Still lightly raced, still don't know where her ceiling is yet. Beat a really good horse in Paracel last start. Obviously got great form at Flemington. I've King of Sparta as the danger, and he's yet to perform at the track. So, I reckon she's probably one of the bets of the day, $2.50.
Moving ahead.
And what's your shock?
And my shock. My shock was a bit of a tricky one because it's against what was potentially my the lock of the day in Kaboo. I'm going with Cote. He's been a little bit of a problem child horse. You know the horse.
Yeah.
But I do think he's improving. I'm not the biggest fan of the Anthony Cummings stable, but one thing he's good at doing is getting horses to perform first up. Its 2 trials have been exceptional, especially his last one, the way he pulled through the line. Look, if there's any chinks in Kaboo's armour, which I do think he's better over 1,400, this horse is drawn barrier 1, box seats, gets a nice little trail into the race. I think he's going to run an incredible race at $10.
I think I agree with you there on Cote.
Are we agreeing?
I think we agreed, yeah. Cote, I looked at his first trial, Kaboo.
Yeah.
He looked enormous his first trial. His second trial, I didn't like the way he got his head up in the air and he gave ground late in the trial. So he's a bit of a risk for me. He's obviously the talented horse in the race. He can be a bit hit and miss, or has been hit and miss. More miss than hit. But at $10, I reckon he's worth a play at.
You're trying to steal my lock?
No, it's your lock. I'm just reaffirming what you're saying. Your shock, sorry.
Moving ahead to the multi-section. Aaron, what have you got for us?
Yes, I'll be taking over the East Side Multi, which is our legs of Sydney, Brisbane and Victoria. I am going with Kaboo in case the shock doesn't get up. Look, I wouldn't be shocked to see him roll to the front and just be too good. He's a quality animal. His run, he had that run where he's just got beaten by Iona Merck. It was a real gutsy effort. 1,200 Randwick. Ideally, I would have liked 1,300, but I just think Gay's got him wound right up. His first up trial was phenomenal. Second trial was a little bit iffy, but Gays can sometimes do that, look a little bit flat, roll to the front and just win. Locking him in at the $2.50. I'm going hard to say the place, which is Brisbane Race 8, number 3. First two first up wins this prep, just exceptional. This horse is flying, but finds his toughest test. And we're going to Victoria with King's Gambit, race 4, number 3, $3.30. I don't think this horse could be a trial superstar, but I just get the indication that he's starting to put it together.
So what does that give you?
That gives us $11.50.
That's pretty good.
Now for the sports lovers. Glyn, what do you have for the mixed multi?
Well, as you maybe you don't know, but I'm a mad soccer fan, or football.
I do know.
Yeah, and I've got a couple of football legs and one in the Rugby World Cup. I've got Arsenal to beat Everton at $1, what are they, 50? Fulham to beat Luton Town, who are newcomers to the Premier League, and they're going to be struggling all year long. And then in the Rugby World Cup, I've got Australia to beat Fiji. So that multi gives you, I think, $3.25 or $3.20.
Very versatile of you, Glyn. Bit of rugby.
Rugby, yeah. Well, the NRL is pretty much the finals. It's anyone's game now. But Rugby World Cup's in its infancy. Premier League's come back after international break. So there's a lot to like about those bets.
Now a quick look ahead at the Everest. Aaron, can you see the market changing after Saturday?
Yeah, it's going to be a tricky one. I think it's going to come down to, obviously, that shorts field. And just how, if In Secret is to win and if she is to be dominant, I can see her firming up quite a little bit.
Yeah,
But outside of this, that's certainly not the A graders.
what in the shorts?
Yeah.
Well, look, you've got your naturals, you've got your Mazu's in,
Yeah.
Giga Kicks in, you got Lost and Running, In Secrets in, you got a handful of horses that are vying for a spot, maybe Private Eye.
Well, look, if you're Lost and Running, I think if he comes out and runs exceedingly well, he will firm up in the market.
He's great first up. It's a pity he didn't draw a barrier, but the Everest market will definitely change. But I think the top end of the market's going to be pretty steady.
I think it'll be pretty steady unless In Secret was to come out and just dominate.
Yeah.
That's a wrap, guys. Thank you, and see you in a few weeks for Epsom Day.
Great. Thanks, Bianca.
Thank you.
Thank
See you then.
you.
What's gambling really costing you? For free and confidential support, call the number on the screen or visit the website.